What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the CUFO YouTube channel. You are here after Barnsley have just beaten Carlisle United by 2-1 in a very positive performance from Carlisle United, to be honest. And just to look at the team lineup then, there was a few notable names and absences in there. You've got Paul Huntington that came straight back in as captain. He slotted straight into that back three. Finn Back was on the bench and came on as a substitute late into the game. Which great to see Finn coming back into the team. Obviously, you know, we've seen what he was like last year, very unfortunate with injuries. And Corey Whelan not being in the squad completely, which is a bit random considering he started the last couple of games. And that away support, absolutely unbelievable. 883, I believe the final figure was. I might be wrong, but it was definitely 800 plus. Absolutely unbelievable away support on a Tuesday night in the weather conditions as well. Safe journey back to any Blues fans making that journey back up tonight. And you're going to be disappointed, aren't you? Especially if you've travelled down. But I mean, even just watching from afar, it was a really disappointing one to not get a point at least out of that game. When Barnsley equalised, you thought a point might be a bit harsh from a Carlisle perspective, that we definitely deserved something from the game. And then an absolute sickening winner being a penalty. And we come away with no points ultimately in the end. And I feel really hard done by that. I mean, their commentators on iFollow even said that Carlisle tonight did not look like a relegation side. And it was true, because we played really well. Unfortunately, some bits that we'll get into in a moment is why we didn't win the game of football tonight. And a couple of things I thought we did really well. I thought we pressed really well. I thought we were excellent at pressing Barnsley early on in the game. I thought Barnsley had set up a very well structured side, a very good team on the board, some real good pass movements. But we contained that very well with Harrison Neal in CDM coming back into the defence, you know, the defenders staying tight. And we looked like a real unit, which is something that you maybe couldn't say for the past weeks. But ultimately, if you don't take your chances in the game of football, you're not going to win a game of football. It is that simple. You know, that counts at any level of football. But in League One, you're not going to get away with missing chances. And to be, you know, we could have been 4-0 up at half time. We could have been 3-0 up in the first 12 minutes of the game. Dan Butterworth had a one-on-one in the first, I think it was 4 minutes in. Butterworth had a one-on-one. Armstrong was opposite him, but I thought Armstrong was offside. So he took the shot, and their keepers made a great save. Their keepers, their defenders passed it back to the goalkeeper. Dan Butterworth again, he's intercepted it, and I don't want to say it's an open net, but it's, you know, he's got a good bit of the net to aim at where there's nobody about, and he's dragged the shot wide, and you're just thinking, oh, it's not going to be our night, is it, with the missing these type of chances? But Barnsley looked really shaky for that first sort of 10 minutes, and then the goalkeeper's pass went out straight to the feet of Luke Armstrong. Luke Armstrong, his first goal in the Carlisle United shirt. A good finish from the lad, to be fair. You know, he's a fair distance from goal, and he's put it into the bottom corner to make it 1-0 to Carlisle. We've took the lead for the first time in God knows how long. I genuinely cannot remember the last time. It was Shrewsbury, I want to say, was the last time we took the lead in the game. But yeah, we took the lead 1-0 up, and you know, Barnsley were shaky. We absolutely deserved it. We played out the first half very well, taking the lead into half time as well. There was a couple, I must say. Barnsley had a chance. Moxon cleared it off the line. Great clearance from him. But then Barnsley would just make mistake after mistake. At the back, Butterworth pulled one back, and it was just behind McCalmont, and again that was another let off for Barnsley. Some great play from Harry Lewis as well, to come out. He was well positioned, he came out, he won the ball. Barnsley would have been in behind if not. He played very well. I obviously understand Bradford fans on Twitter giving Carlisle, you know, a bit of banter. We give it to them last week, they're giving it to us now. But like, I know the stats don't look good, you know, five goals in 2 games, whatever. But I think Harry Lewis has been fantastic in these couple of games. Tonight he was proactive. He was coming off his line. He was coming to get the ball, not off corners, which is slightly concerning for me. Every time a corner comes in, we looked a bit shaky defending it. But I think Harvey Lewis has been just fine. I mean, obviously the goals is something that we want to trim down, but his confidence coming out of the net and his distribution, definitely an upgrade on what we had. To be honest, but then moving into the second half, then it started with another Barnsley mistake. I don't want to say mistake. This one wasn't really a mistake. It was just a misjudged. There's a long ball forward from Lewis, and it goes straight over the head of their defender, and it bounces, and Luke Armstrong gets a touch on it, and then the keepers came out, and Armstrong's went to chip him. He didn't have a lot of time, to be fair, to be able to adjust himself to get the proper connection on it, and unfortunately he's just put it just over the bar from the chip. But another let off for Barnsley, but then in the end it didn't matter. A great ball from their midfielder, a massive gap between right back and centre back, I must say, but Devante Cole gets in there, and a great finish from him, to be fair, from a tight angle to put it into the far corner. That's his 16th goal this season, top quality player, a player that I did highlight in the preview. But you don't need a lot of room when you've got a striker of that quality. And Devante Cole showed that earlier tonight with that finish. Then the game sort of was a bit more end to end. I thought Barnsley potentially were the better team after conceding, but Carlisle never really looked threatened, to be fair. I think we dealt with them very well. As I say, we looked very structured. We pressed very well, I thought. Whether that's down to Huntington coming back into the defence, bringing that communication and experience. But then unfortunately, a small issue I noticed throughout the sort of game, we pressed really well, but we couldn't clear very well. Our clearances weren't the best tonight. And at the end of the day, we've had a few opportunities to clear the ball. We haven't cleared the ball, and that's resulted in them getting into a really good position in the box. Gibson's came in, put a tackle in. On first viewing, it looked like a penalty. I had no complaints with it. On looking back on it, someone zoomed in on Twitter and slowed it down. And I mean, I guess for everything, once it's slowed down, it looks different. And from the referee's perspective on the day, it looked a penalty first hand, as I say. But looking back, it looks like the lad's potentially tripped over his own feet. Or Gibson's got the slightest touch on him, and it's a very soft way to go down. But everyone's going to have their own opinion on that one. Their player scores the penalty, dispatches it as you would expect. And a result of not clearing the ball was, they've got the opportunity to get into that area, to get the penalty, and it's disappointing to lose a game like that, especially a game where you've played so well. It's a tough one. I think as well. I'm personally feeling a little bit down about the whole thing as well. The league table was on at half time, and Fleetwood, who are below us, have 2 games in hand over us, and Cheltenham and Reading have 3 games in hand over us. Now, what is that about? Where does that come from? Imagine Cheltenham and Reading win them 3 games and they go 9 points away from us. I have no idea where that's come from, but it is what it is. We can only focus on ourselves. But a much improved performance from Carlisle United. I'm much better than the performance on Saturday against Oxford, to be perfectly honest. Good to see Hunt's back. Great to see Finn back as well. I can't say Finn back. It just doesn't sound right. But great to see Finn back into the squad and getting that thing. I thought Jack Ellis was fantastic again tonight. I hope Jack Robinson's not injured, because I noticed he wasn't in the team at all. Jack Armour coming in, and Jack Armour giving a solid performance like he normally does. You know what to get. You know what you're getting from the likes of Jack Armour. So, but if we play like that at the weekend, I think we should be okay. We did play very well. We didn't look like a relegation side for the majority of that game. For me, though, and I'll talk about it more in the preview, it's a must-win game now on Saturday. Absolute must-win game against Cheltenham. If it wasn't a must-win game at Brunton Park, it's definitely a must-win game down in Cheltenham. But what do you guys think of the game, though? Were you there? Let me know in the comments down below. What are your thoughts on the game as a whole? And are you going down to Cheltenham as well? Let me know in them comments. Very exciting things coming in the coming weeks. But thank you so much for watching. I've been C4, and I'll of course see you in the next one.